It's time to get your leash, find your dog, get some snacks, because we are going to the dog park. In this game, you are a dog walker, taking these kind animals to the dog park to play with them, give them treats, and so on. And in this video, I am going to show you how to play dog park. I will show you how to set up the game. I will show you the different phases of the game and what you can do during these phases. So let's take a look at this cute game. To start with, we need to place the board in the center of the table. Next, we need to shuffle the forecast cards and place 4 of them faced up on their spaces on the boards. If you are less experienced, you may play without the forecast cards. The cards that you did not pick goes back into the box. Next, we need to shuffle the breed expert cards and place them out on the board. And then we need to shuffle the dog deck. Take roughly half of the deck and place it next to the board where it says dog deck. The cards that we did not use goes back into the box. Starting from the left, we need to fill the fields with the number of dog cards as per player count. If you're playing solo, 2-player or 3-player, there should be 3 dogs. If you're playing 4 players, there should be 4 dogs. Then we need to sort out all the tokens and place them in easy reach for all the players on the table. And then we need to select a location bonus card deck and shuffle it. Again, depending on how many players you are, different location bonus decks will be chosen. If you are solo, 2-player or 3-player, you should use the one that has the rooted park on. But if you are 4 players, you should use the one with Plentiful Park instead. When we know which deck to use, we need to reveal the top card. On this card we can see some lines, but also some symbols. This card here and the different lines refers to the big park out on the board. And the little symbols here refers to the different tokens or resources that we should place out on the board. So on this location bonus card here, we can see that we should put 1 swap token on field number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning this one down here. So we take the swap token and we place it on field number 5. The next one would be the ball on this field here, and then we have a little stick on this field up here. These here will be extra bonuses that you can get when you are out walking the dogs on the field. This here are the different rounds of the game, meaning 4 rounds. And this little bird here is the round tracker and should be placed on the first phase of the first round. And now we need to set up the player area as well. We should start by taking a leaderboard in a color that we would like to play as. Then we also need to take an offer dial in the same color. We need to take a walker in that color, but also a reputation marker. This marker is then placed out on the board on space number 5. We get 2 balls, 2 sticks, 1 treat, and 1 toy. Next we need to shuffle the objective cards. There are 2 different types of cards in this game. Standards and expertise ones. These decks should be shuffled separately. Then each player is dealt 2 of them. Now they get to choose one that they would like to try to complete during their game. If you complete wherever this card says, well, you would get victory points, meaning reputation, at the end of the game. What we have up here is our lead. And below the lead there should be a space for the dog cards, as this down here would be your kennel. And then we need to choose a first player at random. That player will get the first player token, meaning the little doghouse. So now we have set up our player area, we have set up the board, and we are ready to start playing. Now, in this game, you are a dog walker. You have your little kennel here in front of you, and the dogs that you are taking out on a little walk on the field, out on the board, is placed on your leader board that you have here in front of you. And this game is played out during 4 rounds. And each round consists of 4 different phases. We have recruit, select, walk, and home time. And during these phases, you can of course do different things. But what can you really do? Well, let's take a look at that. So the first phase is recruit. And this is where you, well, recruit dogs. At the start of this phase, we need to take a look at this little dog market here to see which dogs are available to recruit to your kennel. But what do these different cards actually mean? Well, let's take a look at that first. Up in the top left corner, we have some different words. These are the breed category of this dog. Here we have one belonging to toy, another one here belonging to pastoral, and this one over here belonging to gun dog. These words up here is used for example, completing objectives, but also to get some of the breed expert cards. If you, for example, have 11% of toy dogs in your kennel, you would get that breed expert card in the end of the game. But also the victory point stated to the right of that card. Under the breed category, we got the name of the dog. Here we have an Australian Silky Terrier, a Norwegian Buhund, and a Hungarian Whistler. Then we have some resource symbols. This is the walking cost of this dog. Meaning that if you would like to take this dog here for a walk, you would need to pay 1 stick, 1 ball, and 1 treat. Below that, we have an ability. These ability can be used during different phases. This Australian Silky Terrier, for example, can use Go Fetch when we are in the walking phase of the game. When we know which of these dogs we would like to recruit, we need to, in secret, put a value on our little offer dial. And this is a value between 1 to 5. And depending on if you really want the dog or if you're just a little bit interested, you of course put a higher or a lower value. If you really want to recruit the dog that you have picked, well then you should choose a high value. Because this is kind of like a bidding war and you need to outbid the other players. Once you have selected a value here on your dial, you need to take your little walker token and put it out beneath the dog you would like to recruit. And this is done in turn order, meaning that the first player gets to put out their little token first, and then the player to the left, in clockwise order, would then get to put out their walker. So once we have put out a little walker here and we have set the dial to a number that we are willing to pay to recruit the dog, well, we go into step number 2 of this phase. And this is where we reveal our dials. If we are alone underneath one dog, meaning that we are unchallenged in this bidding war, well, we simply take the dog and then we put it in our kennel. But we also need to withdraw the same amount that we put on our dial from our reputation track. Meaning that if we betted 2, well then we would need to move our little dog down 2 steps. But if there are 2 players on the same dog wanting to recruit the same dog, well the one with the highest value would of course win. If there is a tie, the player that is the top on the queue, meaning the line here beneath the dogs, well then that player would win. Again, the player that wins would withdraw the same amount from their reputation track, moving their little meeple that same amount of steps back. If you did not manage to win any dog, well you still need to withdraw 1 reputation from your reputation track. If a player ever has 0 reputation, well they cannot be a part of this phase because they have no reputation to use to bid on any dogs. So first we recruit dogs once. And hopefully we manage to get a dog in our kennel. Remember, below your lead board, not on the lead board. They are going into your kennel for now. But once we have done this recruitment once, we need to do it one more time. And we would do this by simply refilling the market with dogs and then going through the bidding phase one more time. Hopefully leading up to give each player 2 dogs. But if you do not have any reputation points left, well, then you can't be a part of the bidding, my friend. I'm sorry, you can't pay with money you do not have. And once we have done the second recruitment, we refill the market one last time. But this time we refill it for the next round. Because now we're done with the recruitment phase and we go into the select phase instead. And this is where we get to select dogs that we want to take out on a walk. During the select phase, we get to, well, select dogs that we would like to take out for a walk. And we will do that by paying the resources that dog would need to go out on a walk. And then put them on our lead board. You can have a maximum of 3 dogs out at the same time. And you can easily see that because there's only 3 spaces. So to be able to, for example, bring this dog out for a walk, you would need to pay 2 balls, meaning 2 of this resource. When you have done that, you can take it and put it on your lead board. Now this dog is ready to go out for a walk. But since you actually do not have resources left to bring out any of the next dogs, well, you can only take out this dog during this round. Because you simply do not have enough treats or sticks or toys to bring out the 2 other dogs that you have in your kennel. But some of these dogs actually have actions that would give you resources during the selection phase. Which means that if you, for example, would have had this dog in your kennel, you could have used this action to get an extra toy. But for now, well, you did not have this card, so you will just have to do with this dog for now. When you have paid the cost and you have placed the card on your lead board, you also need to place a little walked token on this dog, indicating that it has indeed been walked. If you ever end up in a situation where you just cannot pay any resources to bring out any dogs because you might not have any resources or you might not have enough resources, well then you sadly need to sit out this round. And at the end of this round, you will lose 1 reputation. So make sure that you get some resources along the way. But if you get to sit out, you actually get 1 ball and 1 stick for free that you can use in the next round. So it's not all bad. Still pretty bad though. So now it's time for us to walk our dogs. And whoever has the first player token gets to start their walk first. When we start our walk, we start all over here on this space. And during our turn, we need to move 1 to 4 spaces. Meaning that I would need to at least move 1 space out on these steps. And you can never choose to move backwards. Because, well, dogs just don't like that. If you end your movement on an unoccupied space, you would get the reward on that space. In this case, 1 treat. And if the item on your space that you land on would trigger any effects from your dogs, well then you can use them now. If the item on the location would cost the player's dog's ability to activate, the player themselves can decide in which order to gain the resource, reputation, or actions. If you end your movement on the same space as another walker, you would only get any bonuses or resources if you pay 1 reputation. And when or if you end up on choose a path, well then you can choose which patch you would like to keep on walking on. But out on the board we can also see other symbols than resources. Now what do they mean? Well, the swap action here would let you swap 1 dog from your kennel with 1 dog from your field. And all the walk tokens on the dogs that are leaving the kennels are discarded. And you do not place any walk tokens on the new dog in the kennel. But this here is always optional. And then we have swap and walked. That one is the same as swap, but here you get to place a walk token on the new dog in their kennel. But it can only be placed on the newly acquired dog. But then we also have this one here, which is called Scout. When you do the Scout action, you get to look at the top 2 cards of the dog deck. And this action is performed public, meaning that everyone should see it. The scouting player may then choose to replace a dog in the field with one of the dog cards they have just drawn from the deck. Any discarded dog cards are placed to the side of the park board. When a player ends up leaving the field, meaning that they have ended their walk, they immediately get one of these 4 bonuses. When there's only one player left in the park, this phase ends. The player is then removed from the park, and then they will lose 1 reputation. And that was the walking phase. We simply go around the table in turn order, moving 1 to 4 steps out on the board, managing to get some resources, hopefully, maybe some bonuses, and so on. And you can take it slow here. I mean, you could move 1 step at a time, just gathering up as many resources as you possibly can. But you might also be the last one left in the park, forcing you to lose 1 reputation, meaning victory points at the end of the game. But now we move into the home time phase. During home time phase, you will gain reputation for the dogs that you have in the lead. And you will gain 2 reputation for each dog on the lead. But you will lose 1 reputation for each dog without a walked token in your kennel. Once we have gained the reputation, we need to put the dogs down into our kennel, but also returning the walker back to the lead. Before the next round, we also need to do a quick cleanup phase. The current forecast card is flipped over. Tokens from this round location bonus card are returned to the general supply. A new location bonus card is revealed and new tokens are placed. The round tracker is moved to the next round. The first walker token is passed in clockwise order. And now you are ready for round number 2. When you have done all 4 rounds, well, it's time for us to go into end of scoring to see if we have managed to win this game. Before we go into the final scoring, you are allowed to assign any last resources to dogs that might give you more victory points by doing this action. Once all players have had a chance to do this, we go into the final scoring. First we need to take our reputation out on the track. Then we need to see if we manage to get any breed expert cards and then gain those victory points next to the card. We need to see if we manage to complete any objective cards, and we would get 1 reputation, meaning victory points, for every 5 remaining resources. The player that managed to get the highest reputation, or victory points as I have said throughout the whole video, that player becomes the winner of the game. If there is a tie, whoever managed to get the highest value breed expert card would become the winner. If there's still a tie, well then share the victory and hug it out, man. Be happy. This game is actually just about that. Having a good, happy time. I mean, yes, there is competition between the players. You are trying to become the best dog walker in the business, but it's all good fun. Just the whole way. This game is for casual players, but you could also play it with a little bit more advanced players because there is quite a lot of strategy in the game. The way you need to get resources to get your dogs out and actually manage them in a way that you can afford to get the dogs out in the park and walk them. And that was Dog Park, a game from Birdwood Games, a 1 to 4 player games. This game is nice, it's cool, it's easy to set up, it's easy to learn. If you want to know more about it, well, check out the links down in the description and it will take you straight to whatever you would like to know. If you like what I'm doing here, well, give me a thumbs up, maybe subscribe to the channel. It really do help me a lot and it brings a smile to my lips every time I get a new subscriber. But most importantly, my friend, until next time, please do not forget to keep on spreading that board gaming love I know you all have. Peace out, my friend.